Sarah, your curry was too thin, which meant that it had no opportunity to hold onto the flavours of the dish. I'm really sorry you're going home. It's okay.
Always tough to see one of our favourites go home. Sarah, welcome to the Ben, Rob and Robbo show.
Thanks so much.
To at-home chefs, that would seem like an impossible task. How do you even approach something like that where you don't even have a recipe?
It is an impossible task. If you think about it, Chef Benjamin Cooper has spent 20 years perfecting this curry, and it involves every time he cooks it. And we've been given 90 minutes and no recipe and told, you've got to recreate it as close as possible to this guy's curry. That is impossible.
Well, you've obviously been on the show before because it's, MasterChef Australia Back to Win. Have you ever had a challenge like that, either on the show or off the show, where you had to do something like that? So were you able to think, oh, no, I can do this, or was it just complete fear?
It was practically complete fear. I've never really had to recreate such a complex and personal dish that didn't have my own stamp or flair on it, So it was a really, really difficult task, but God, it was fun, actually.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Because actually last night with those pressure tests, we've seen them before on the show, but it really looked like it was taking its toll on everyone in the kitchen. Let's have a look.
10 minutes. He starts cooking the curry at 10 minutes. I'm like, what in the world? Who cooks curry? And then I realize he doesn't fry the curry paste and then let it boil and reduce and simmer. I've made a serious error here. I don't even know how I'm going to start this. I can't start again. There's literally 10 minutes to go. I need to cook off the roti. I need to finish off the rice. I need to make sure the fish is cooked. I need to plate up. There's no time to start again. I have to commit to this. I have to go with it.
Multitasking.
Sarah, take me back to that moment where you realised that you had made that huge mistake. What was it like? Was it the world crashing down, or was it... What was happening in your head?
It was so devastating because I should have been listening from the start. This is a Northern Thai style curry, which I know in Northern Thai style food, they don't usually cook off the curry paste that heavily. It's actually literally just boiled into the stock. I don't know why it didn't register right at the beginning. It was just like this pressure system. And, I'm known for my Southeast Asian food. So there was this added pressure of like, well, this is my challenge to lose.
So with that, when you realise that there's a big mistake happen, what's easier for you to do? To admit defeat? Or do you think you've got enough faith in yourself to try and fix it?
Never admit defeat. I think the whole thing is to have that paradigm shift, to think positively and to part as you can to get that over the line. Yes, it's not right, but surely you can get it closer and closer and closer you want. And it's all about having that good attitude.
Now, Sarah, you've spoken before about your diabetes diagnosis. How does that affect your time in such a high-pressure environment like the MasterChef Australia kitchen?
It's really difficult, actually, because you're in a very stressful environment, and stress also impacts your glucose. It also, there's inconsistencies in when you're eating, what you're tasting, what you're cooking with. So it requires a lot of dedication to focus and be really careful about, my blood sugars and what my body needs.
A senior-role.
Does that change the way that you cook for other people? Now that you've got this diagnosis, now you understand what that means for people who also have diabetes. Does that change the way you cook or the way that you approach
cooking? That's actually the big one. But also,
definitely, it definitely means that I need to think of other ways to balance flavors. I need to think of other ways to incorporate sugar or sweetness into my dish without, essentially overflowing with sugar, putting so much sugar into the dish. So it has in the way I cook for others and definitely impacted the way I cook for myself.
That's fantastic, isn't it? Because obviously, you know, a lot of chefs or most chefs will cook for others, but you're cooking for others in a really kind of special way, taking into account, you know, a smaller part of the population, but a very important part of the population who is living with diabetes. I think that's a great thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it definitely is it's a considered choice. And it doesn't mean that the flavor of my food is impacted. It just means that I have to think of different ways, more creative ways of achieving that same flavor.
Sarah, I've got to say to you, I've bloody loved you from all of, you know, your other episodes of MasterChef. I still love you now. Everyone loves you. There's enthusiasm. There's your support for other contestants. We're really going to miss it, I think, in the kitchen. But we want to know what's happening for you next.
Oh, thanks, Robbo. That actually really means a lot. Next for me, I've actually got a cookbook coming out. It's now available online in Australia and also on shelves in the UK, called Sweet, Savory, Spicy. It is all about my Southeast Asian heritage, and it's all about dishes that are much, much, much easier than any pressure test. I guarantee you.
I should hope so, because I couldn't handle it. I'd throw my hands up within the first minute. Now, where can we find that book? You said in bookstores, but where else can we find it?
Yeah, so Sweet Icy is available through Amazon Australia, Book Depository. Yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, Fill My Tummy, you'll definitely be able to see where you can get it and any further in my events as well.
I can tell you right now, I would absolutely go and buy this book. It is fantastic. Sarah, you have such a wonderful way of approaching cooking. We're very lucky to have experienced that cooking on MasterChef. Very lucky 2 times. So that's fantastic. Now, I always ask everyone who comes on the show, what are you having for your tea tonight?
Well, definitely not jungle curry, but I'm thinking maybe some like a roast chicken with some Southeast Asian flavors like kaffir lime, coriander, garlic, soy. Oof, delicious.
All right. Well, what I'll do, Sarah, is I'll give you my phone number after the show, and if you could give me your address, I'll be right there, because that sounds absolutely bloody delicious. Sarah, we're going to miss seeing you on MasterChef, but we can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.
Thanks, Robbo. Really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
It's the Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo Show. Ben, Rob and Robbo Show.